US consumers had been warned they would pay the price for sanctions against Russia, and so they are. The price of gas at the pumps has increased by nearly $1, some 20%, since the Russian invasion of Ukraine. It's risen 47% in the past year. And President Biden has announced a series of measures to bring some relief to the US consumer, including a release of 1 million barrels a day from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve.
This is a wartime bridge to increase oil supply until production ramps up later this year. And it is by far the largest release of our national reserve in our history. It will provide a historic amount of supply for a historic amount of time, a 6-month bridge to the fall.
Republicans dismiss the move as politically motivated.
The reserve is supposed to exist for giant unforeseen crises, such as a war between great powers. It's not there so that anti-energy politicians whose policies have raised gas prices can try to hide that from the public.
This is just one of a multi-pronged approach to easing the oil crisis. The president is also invoking the Defense Production Act to ease supply chain issues that have hindered the drive to promoting clean energy. For example, removing the bottleneck in the supply of components like lithium, essential to the development of electric vehicles. The president also had harsh words for some oil companies that he says are seeking to profit from the crisis.
For U.S. oil companies that are recording their largest profits in years, they have a choice. One, they can put those profits to productive use by producing more oils, restarting idle wells, or producing on the sites they already are leasing, giving the American people a break by passing some of the savings on to their customers and lowering the price at the pump. Or they can, as some of them are doing, exploit the situation.
And in a controversial move, he's called on Congress to penalize companies that lease federal land but are not drilling on it. President Biden says the U.S. has a history of seeking opportunity in crisis, and the long-term aim is to make the country oil independent by increasing traditional production and by further developing clean energy resources. The political reality is that to achieve the long-term aim, the president's party would have to retain control of Congress, and that is likely to be determined by whether the short-term aim of reducing gas prices by the time of midterm elections in November is achieved. Mike Hanna, Al Jazeera, Washington.